More than 1 million people, including more than 40 world leaders, rallied in Paris Sunday to denounce the kind of Islamic terrorism that left 17 people dead last week in France. The leaders of Britain, Germany, Israel, Spain, even Ukraine were there. President Obama was not. In fact, the highest-ranking American on hand was the U.S. ambassador to France. And that has many people unnerved tonight. We have Fox Team coverage. James Rosen here in the Bureau with how disaffected Muslims control portions of France with virtually no interference. Rick Leventhal in Paris, where French police say up to 6 terror cell members may still be at large. But we begin with Chief White House correspondent Ed Henry and worries about whether President Obama is taking Islamic terrorism seriously. Good evening, Ed.
Good evening, Brett. Josh Earnest today cited security as one possible reason why the president did not go. And while a Secret Service official acknowledges it would have been challenging, the agency says they were never even asked about a possible trip to France. At a ceremony honoring the NBA champion San Antonio Spurs, President Obama quipped he thought about skipping it.
I was considering having the vice president cover these remarks so I could stay fresh for State of the Union.
An awkward joke coming the same day that even newspapers normally friendly to the president blasted him for skipping the massive rally of solidarity against terrorists in Paris, which drew dozens of world leaders, while the absence sparked scorn for the president from critics like retired Lieutenant Colonel Ralph Peters.
Make no mistake, passivity in the face of terror is complicity.
Another problem of optics for a president who played golf last summer after the beheading of an American journalist, and last week let his motorcade drive past the VA hospital where veterans died. Today, spokesman Josh Earnest made a rare admission at the White House podium that a mistake was made.
And I think it's fair to say that we should have sent someone with a higher profile to be there.
Hours earlier, Secretary of State John Kerry, traveling in India, tried to minimize it.
And I really think, this is sort of quibbling a little bit in the sense that our Assistant Secretary of State, Victoria Nuland, was there and marched. Our ambassador was there and marched. Many people from the embassy were there and marched.
While U.S. Ambassador Jane Hartley, who was nominated to her post after raising $500,000 for the president's re-election, was in Paris, Kerry was wrong. Victoria Nuland was not in Paris, though she did attend a rally for France that happened Sunday just blocks from the White House.
We haven't gotten an accounting of what the president did Sunday.
Yeah, I haven't spoken to the president about what he did yesterday.
I mean, you obviously prepared for this, and you've said many times the most transparent administration. What was the president doing?
I guess I prepared for a lot of questions today, but I did not prepare for a question based on what the president was actually doing yesterday.
Okay.
Earnest said he was also not aware of the details of the schedule of Attorney General Eric Holder, who was in Paris this weekend for counter-terror meetings, but missed the rally because aides say he needed to be back in Washington Sunday afternoon. While in Paris, Holder did appear on 4 Sunday talk shows and ducked questions about why the administration is not joining the French Prime Minister in saying his country is at war with Islamic extremism.
Paris, Australia, Canada, isn't a thread through them that it's Islamic extremism?
Mm-hmm. Well, certainly all the examples that you cite are examples of individuals who have cited Islam as they've carried out acts of violence.
That was about the White House announcement. They're having a summit here next month on combating violent extremism. When asked why not call it Islamic extremism, Josh Earnest said they're battling other forms of extremism as well.